Live from downtown Detroit, home of WDIV and Click on Detroit, Local 4 News at 11 starts now.
Road rage gets way out of hand on I-75 in Oakland County, leading to police wrestling around on the ground with one of the drivers. Glad you're with us tonight. It all happened yesterday, but tonight we're getting our first look at it just as rush hour was getting underway.
Two drivers get into a dispute and it leads to a dangerous chase headed south down I-75 in Troy. Let's bring in Jason Colthorpe, who has a 911 call and some video of how this all went down. Jason.
Really amazing, Kimberly. Video of when police show up at the scene, more video of when they're wrestling around with this person trying to make the arrest. But it started with an incident. One man gets out of his vehicle, threatens to shoot the other guy. That guy grabs his own gun, calls police, and takes off. Road rage on I-75.
And now he's swerving through cars, trying to cut other cars off, get back on my tail.
The driver of a Dodge Caliber calling 911 saying he's being chased by a Chevy Cruze after he had words with the male passenger.
He came running up to my car, reaching into his waistband, telling me he's going to blow me away.
After several miles, the cars exited at Big Beaver, and that's when a Troy officer spots the chase.
There you go, there's an officer behind him.
And hits the lights.
Is he still behind you?
He sure is, and I'm going to stop him so the cop can get him.
When the officer asked her to get out, she became combative, eventually, put the car into reverse with the door open, hitting the officer.
Things continue to escalate, as you can see in this video posted to the account Crime in the D.
He's dragging the driver out of the car, and the guy's trying to run. You might want to send backup quick.
All available Troy units, head to southbound 75 AM. On-ramp from Big Beaver.
While trying to arrest the driver, the man who had allegedly made the threats now approaches the officer.
And then you have someone coming up antagonizing, trying to intervene. You don't know what they're going to do.
They got him in cuffs now.
After some tense moments, both people are finally subdued with a bit of an assist from the caller, who was able to block their getaway.
Who knows if he hadn't have done that, how far this would have gone up.
Or how out of hand that could have gotten. No gun was found by police in that Chevy Cruze, but they did find a machete tucked in between the seats. Police tell me they do expect to charge both the driver and that passenger. Kimberly.
Do we know what the catalyst of all of this was?
It's still unclear, but we know it started on Telegraph and then spilled onto I-75. And police say, the world is a very stressful place right now. We all know that. And they are seeing more, not just more road rage, but more intense road rage like this one.
Yeah.
Kimberly.
And all of it's just unnecessary. Okay. Jason, thank you. A 9-year-old girl is in the hospital after a shooting today on Detroit's east side. It happened at a home on Fordham near East 7 Mile. Police say the girl's mother was not home when the child found the gun. It went off and she was hit. She's in stable condition. No word on if her mother will face charges.
With 1 week until Election Day, we've got new exclusive poll numbers in the race for Michigan and how the pandemic is impacting voters and the perceptions of the president versus Governor Whitmer on COVID. Mara McDonald live with more. Mara, our pollster says COVID is what has cut into Trump's 2016 coalition of voters.
That's right, Devin. And according to the poll, here's what the two groups are that are moving away from Trump simply because of COVID. They are seniors and they are women, and they are making a difference. Take a look. For starters, let's take a look at where the overall race for the White House is here in Michigan. Biden +8. Now, look at this. The percentage of voters who approve of the president's COVID strategy. Well, it's essentially who supports him for president. And now this, how you feel about Governor Whitmer's handling of the pandemic. Do you see the disparity in those Trump-Whitmer numbers?
In particular, women really disapprove of the job President Trump is doing on the pandemic, and they wildly approve of the job Governor Whitmer is doing.
The president is already struggling with women voters, and Zuba thinks he and Whitmer's repeated barbs back and forth really do not help him.
Coming into Michigan and attacking a governor with 60% job approval when you are at 40 may be the single biggest boneheaded political move I've seen this election year.
Back here live, we have a lot more new exclusive poll numbers to be released, including numbers in that hot U.S. Senate race. We're going to be releasing those tomorrow morning. Stay tuned with us. We've got more to come all day tomorrow. We're live in Troy tonight. I'm Mara McDonald. Back to you.
You teed it up for me right there, Mara. The balance of power is on the line in the Senate race, the hotly contested, expensive race between Gary Peters and John James with enormous implications. You'll see which direction Michigan voters are leaning in that one tomorrow morning on Local 4 News Today at 6:30 a.m. Now, President Trump was back in Michigan today holding a rally in front of a very large crowd in Lansing.
And despite being down in the polls here, the president told supporters he will once again win Michigan.
Look, this is the most important election in the history of our country, or I wouldn't be standing here like this. Everybody, you got to go out and vote. You got to go out and vote. And we will win. You will win. Michigan will win. And America will win. You got to go and vote.
And it was a busy day for the president after the Lansing rally. He also held events in Wisconsin and Nebraska. On the Democratic side, Joe Biden spent the day campaigning in Georgia.
Now, Georgia has not gone to a Democratic candidate in a presidential election since 1992. Polls right now, though, show a pretty close race. Biden hosted a drive-in rally in Atlanta tonight, telling supporters if they can win in Georgia, they can win anywhere.
There aren't a lot of pundits who would have guessed 4 years ago that the Democratic candidate for president in 2020 would be campaigning in Georgia on the final week of the election.
And the campaigning here in Michigan ahead of Election Day far from over. President Trump, Vice President Mike Pence will be visiting Flint tomorrow night. On Thursday, Dr. Jill Biden will be visiting Lansing and Westland. Joe Biden, we understand, is going to be in town on Halloween, or in Michigan on Halloween. We do not have details on that appearance just yet.
A Michigan judge is blocking a ban on open carry at polling places on Election Day. Judge Christopher Murray says Secretary of State Jocelyn Benson exceeded her authority, banning people from openly carrying guns within 100 feet of polling places. Benson issued the ban to prevent voter intimidation, but a judge says she failed to go through a formal rulemaking process required by state law. Attorney General Dana Nessel says she will appeal the ruling.
The state is reporting 2,367 new cases of the coronavirus over the past 24 hours. Latest round of numbers includes another 28 Michiganders dead from the virus. Tonight's other headlines: Dearborn Schools has approved a plan to return to in-person learning once COVID conditions improve in the community. So the district says under this approved plan, the earliest that middle and high school students would return would be in January.
Two men accused of sending threatening robocalls to Detroit voters are now facing charges in Ohio. Jack Berkman and Jacob Wool are charged with bribery and voter intimidation. Prosecutors say more than 8,000 robocalls were made to black residents in Cleveland. The calls warned information from mail-in ballots could be used to enforce arrest warrants, collect debt, and force vaccinations. They face similar charges here in Michigan. Their first court appearance in Cleveland is set for next month. Still ahead, a man waiting at a busy bus stop falls more than 12 feet into the ground.
Into the ground. The video shows the moments the sidewalk collapses around him and how crews worked frantically to rescue him. Let's check in with Ben.
Devin and Kim, after 2 dreary days with plenty of clouds, we finally get the sunshine back. On Wednesday, we'll show you what that does for temperatures and, of course, your Halloween and football forecast coming up.
All right, Ben, but first, COVID concerns of a local hockey team in quarantine. Why the health department decided a public alert was not needed when we come back.
The CDC says trick-or-treating is a high-risk activity. Tomorrow morning at 6:30, Dr. McGeorge will share the steps that everyone can take to reduce the risk on Local 4 News Today.